Good day, everyone. My name is Daniel Jr. and Mendiola, and today I will be discussing the future of global religions. So, now let's proceed to the first slides, which is understanding the why or birth rates and mortality. So, it explains why some groups of people grow faster than others. It mostly comes down to two things, which is birth rates and mortality. So in fertility or having babies, some religious groups like many Muslims and Christians groups have more babies on average. This makes their groups grow faster. But it's not just about religion. People usually have fewer babies. If women stay in school longer, women have jobs outside the home, people have easy access to medicine to plan when to have children. And in mortality or living longer, this part is about how long people live. Today, fewer children die young and most people live much longer than they used to. In some places like Europe or very non-religious countries, people are living a long time but they are not having many babies. This means their population are getting older. So even if people start having fewer babies today, the total number of people will still go up for a long time. Like for example, a moving train. Even if you hit the brakes, the train keeps rolling for a while because we have so many young people now. Those young people will live eventually have their own families in the future. This tell us what the world will look like in the future. Now, let's move to global shifts, growth, and decline in major religious groups. So in Project Growth, Islam and Christianity are expected to stay the largest groups. This is mostly because people in these groups tend to be younger and have more children. And in decline or stagnation, in many wealthy countries, the number of people who do not follow a religion is staying the same or going down. This happens in places where people have fewer children and society is becoming less religious. And in conversion patterns naman is while some people switch religions, the biggest reason for this global shift is actually births and deaths, not conversion. Regional spotlight to Asia rapid religious reconfiguration. So in South Asia is what you can see in the slide, religions remain very strong and large. This is because families are big and parents are very successful at passing their religious beliefs down to their children. And in East Asia, this region is seeing a big shift. As more people move to cities, they are having fewer children. Many people there now view religion more as a tradition or culture rather than something they practice at a church or temple. While in the Southeast Asia, this area is most diverse. We can see rapid growth in Muslim majority areas while Christian populations are also growing quickly in places like Philippines and parts of Indonesia. This growth is driven by young population and high birth rates. The secularization trend, Western Europe and North America. In these wealthy countries, fewer people are identifying with a religion and even fewer are actually going to church or participating in religious groups. Higher education and individualism. As people get higher education, they often start focusing more on their own personal goals and beliefs rather than following traditional religious rules. And in decline in routine congregational practice, people are not making it a habit to go to service every week like they used to. neutral or declining fertility among religious adherents. Religious family in these areas are having fewer children since they are not as many kids being raised in the faith. The religious population naturally gets smaller over time. Migration and urbanization. Rural exodus. This is when people leave the countryside to find work in big cities. Urban concentration. This is when many different religious groups all live together in one city. International migration. This when people move to a different country which changes the local community. Diaspora formation. This is when people live afar from their original home. They keep their old tradition but also learn to live in a new way. Urban centers concentrate diverse religious identities. Diasporas maintain home country traditions while adapting to new contexts. Movement of people internal and international distributes religious population creates plural urban faith landscapes and prompts institutional adaptation or multilingual service hybrid urban diaspora identities. Migration can increase religious plurality in destination countries. Urban anonymity in destination countries. Urban anonymity often lowers social pressures to adhere changing practice more than belief for some groups. Intergenerational differences, beliefs and practice. Practice generational divides are widening. Younger cohorts in many regions report less institutional affiliation, different ethical priorities, and alternative spiritual practices. Yet, in some fast growing regions, youth remain highly religious. So the gap between how young and old people view religion is growing. In many places, young people are moving away from traditional churches or temples. However, in some parts of the world that are growing fast, young people are still very religious. Younger people. More fluid identifies digital communities, selective ritual participation, and higher rates of spiritual but not religious identification is many high-income contexts. Young people today have more flexible beliefs. They often use the internet to find religious groups instead of going to a local building. Many say they are spiritual but not religious, meaning they believe in something but do not want to follow the rules of a specific group. They only join religious events when they feel like it. Older cohorts, higher institution loyalty in many places, traditions, and regular practice remain stronger among older adults. Older cohorts or older people are much more loyal to their religious groups. They value old tradition and make it a habit to go to religious services regularly. For them, following the same practices they grew up with is very important. The last part of my presentation is future projection in the next 50 years. In the future, religious groups will grow very fast in Africa and parts of Asia. In Western countries, religious groups will likely get smaller. This will only change if more people move there or if families start having more children. Are certainties, things we are not sure about. It is hard to know exactly what will happen. This is because things likely new laws, climate change making people move and people switching religions can all change the final numbers. These unknowns make it difficult to predict the future perfectly. Implication or what this means for the world. So religion will still be a very important part of government, schools, and daily life. Because of this, leaders will need to learn how to help people of different faiths work together and live in peace. So that's all of my presentation. I hope you learned something. Again, good day.